All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to explore The Solitary Reaper by William Wordsworth, a deeply evocative poem written in 1805 and published in 1807. This poem begins with an ordinary moment, a solitary Highland girl singing as she works in a field, but Wordsworth transforms this scene into a meditation on beauty, mystery, and the power of memory. The critic Stephen Gill writes that The Solitary Reaper captures Wordsworth's ability to elevate the simplest experiences into universal reflections, where individual emotion transcends language and culture. So let's explore how Wordsworth uses literary techniques such as imagery, metre, and structure to craft this extraordinary piece of romantic poetry. This poem was inspired by Wordsworth's travels in Scotland with his sister Dorothy in 1803. They encountered scenes of rural life that exemplified simplicity and authenticity, ideals central to Romanticism. In The Solitary Reaper, Wordsworth aligns with his own call in the preface to Lyrical Ballads to focus on, quote, incidents and situations from common life, end quote. Here the Reaper becomes a symbol of humanity's shared emotional experiences, expressed through a song that transcends time and place. The critic Geoffrey Hartman describes this poem as a romantic celebration of the unknowable, where the absence of literal meaning enhances its emotional resonance. First, stanza 1. The Solitary Reaper. Behold her, single in the field, yon solitary Highland lass, reaping and singing by herself, stop here or gently pass. Alone she cuts and binds the grain, and sings a melancholy strain. O listen, for the vale profound is overflowing with the sound. Behold her, single in the field, yon solitary Highland lass. Lines 1 and 2. Here, Wordsworth opens with a direct address, drawing the reader into the scene. The repetition of single and solitary emphasizes the reaper's isolation, heightening the intimacy of the moment. The meter is iambic tetrameter, creating a rhythmic song-like quality that mirrors the subject of the poem, the reaper's song. The poet urges us to stop here or gently pass, line 3. This invitation captures the romantic ideal of quiet observation, where the observer becomes a participant in the beauty of the moment. Critic Clint Brooks interprets this opening as an invitation to reflect on the profound within the ordinary, where simplicity becomes a gateway to the sublime. Stanza 2. No nightingale did ever chaunt more welcome notes to weary bands of travelers in some shady haunt among Arabian sands. A voice so thrilling ne'er was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird, breaking the silence of the seas among the farthest Hebrides. Will no one tell me what she sings? Perhaps the plaintive numbers flow for old, unhappy, far-off things and battles long ago. Or is it some more humble lay, familiar matter of today, some natural sorrow, loss, or pain that has been and may be again? Wordsworth acknowledges that he cannot understand the content of the Reaper's song sung in Gaelic. However, this lack of comprehension enhances its mystery and universality. He compares the song to two natural sounds. In lines 13 through 15, he says, more welcome notes to weary bands of travelers in some shady haunt among Arabian sands, and a voice so thrilling ne'er was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird, lines 9 through 10. By invoking the vastness of Arabian deserts and the familiarity of a cuckoo's call, Wordsworth universalizes the Reaper's song, connecting it to experiences of comfort and beauty across cultures and geographies. Again, critic Geoffrey Hartman writes that the Reaper's song becomes a metaphor for art itself, an expression of beauty that defies explanation. In stanza 3, perhaps the plaintive numbers flow for old, unhappy, far-off things and battles long ago, lines 18 through 20. Wordsworth speculates on the song's content, imagining it as a lament for historical sorrows or personal grief. The repetition of perhaps emphasizes the unknowability of the song's meaning. This ambiguity invites the reader to engage imaginatively, reflecting the romantic belief in the power of art to evoke rather than explain. Clent Brooks notes that Wordsworth's refusal to define the song's meaning allows it to resonate with every reader, making it a universal expression of human emotion. Now let's read the last stanza. Whate'er the theme, the maiden sang, as if her song could have no ending. I saw her singing at her work, and o'er the sickle bending. I listened, motionless and still, and as I mounted up the hill, the music in my heart I bore, long after it was heard no more. So that last line, lines 31 and 32, the final stanza reveals the lasting impact of the Reaper's song. Though the moment has passed, its emotional resonance endures through memory. This reflects Wordsworth's concept of emotion recollected in tranquility, where the memory of a fleeting experience gains depth and significance over time. The critic Stephen Gill writes that the final lines transform the Reaper's song from a transient sound into a permanent part of the poet's emotional and imaginative life. The poem's central tension lies in the unknowability of the Reaper's song. Wordsworth suggests that its beauty and emotional impact transcend language, capturing the essence of romantic art. Geoffrey Hartman observes that the song's power lies not in its content, but in its ability to evoke a shared human experience. Memory, again, transforms the Reaper's song from a fleeting moment into an enduring emotional experience. This aligns with Wordsworth's philosophy that memory is not passive but dynamic, shaping our understanding of the past. The interplay of solitude and connection, the poem juxtaposes the Reaper's solitude with the poet's connection to her song. Critic Stephen Gill notes that through the Reaper, Wordsworth highlights the paradox of art. It's deeply personal, yet it's universally resonant. The poem's meter and consistent A-B-A-B-C-C-D-D rhyme scheme give it a lyrical, flowing quality, mimicking the rhythm of a song. This structural choice reinforces the thematic focus on music and emotional resonance. Critic Clent Brooks writes that the musicality of Wordsworth's meter bridges the gap between the Reaper's song and the reader, creating an immersive experience of beauty. Some critics, like Thomas de Quincey, questioned whether Wordsworth's focus on rustic life romanticized simplicity. However, Geoffrey Hartman defends the poem, arguing that The Solitary Reaper is not about romanticizing the rural, but about recognizing the profound within the ordinary. Clent Brooks adds that Wordsworth's decision to leave the song's meaning ambiguous elevates the poem into a meditation on art itself, where beauty transcends explanation. So why does The Solitary Reaper continue to resonate today? In a world filled with constant noise and distraction, Wordsworth's invitation to pause and listen feels especially relevant. His focus on the emotional essence of the Reaper's song reminds us of the enduring power of art and nature to inspire and connect. So let's close with the poem's final lines. The music in my heart I bore, long after it was heard no more. These lines encapsulate Wordsworth's belief in the transformative power of memory and art. The Reaper's song, though fleeting, becomes a permanent part of the poet's inner life. As you reflect on this poem, consider the moments in your own life that have lingered in your memory, not for their literal meaning, but for the way they made you feel. How might you, like Wordsworth, carry their music in your heart? Thank you for reading the poem. Thank you for listening to the lecture. May Wordsworth's vision inspire you to pause, listen, and find beauty in the ordinary and the enduring.